Hello, welcome to the live stream. Let me know if you can see and hear me. It is 100 degrees outside in Portland, so that's where we're at. Luckily, we have AC this year, and it's like we had AC, we had like a portable AC in our old place, but it sucked once it's like 100 degrees. The best it could do was like a small portion of our apartment it could bring down by 20 degrees, which meant it was still like 80 degrees. And then the rest of the apartment was still hot. So if you're not in the US, that's almost 38 degrees Celsius. So very hot, too hot. It's also, there is part of our yard that is like completely in the sun because we had to take out all the trees for building the construction project. More trees will eventually be going in. But yeah, this is why trees are really important to the warming climate, because it's like 120 degrees in the part of the yard that doesn't have any trees. So yes, trees important. Tree canopy really important. Anyway, hello. It's lovely to see you all here. We do have a hard out today, and kind of our topic is two parts. One, we are going to do a plan with me, with all the planners, so many planners, which is mainly just me trying to organize the fact that I have a very stressful next few months. I had a friend that was like, oh, sorry, I couldn't see you for your birthday. Can we get coffees? And I was like, I think we can in October. So we're going to do a little plan with me for those. We have a flu for the week. We have a donut, which is actually a little too big to fit under the little glass thing. But here's the donut. It is an Arnold Palmer buttermilk bar. So the bar itself is a lemon buttermilk bar, and then the top is a black tea flavor. If you don't know, Arnold Palmer is a type of drink. So it's inspired by that, but also it's a little too big, just a little too big to fit under the little glass top one. And then I also figured, because watching me just plan by itself, I mean, people keep coming back for it. We are starting our slow descent into truly being a planner channel. Poll, should I make merch stickers that says, I swear we're not a planner channel? I want to know, is there a demand for this? But while we're doing it, we will talk very briefly about, it just wasn't enough for a whole live stream, but this week, Amazon leaked documents from a manufacturer, like, event that Amazon did in China, shows that Amazon is planning to make a discount marketplace where vendors are shipping directly from China. And so this whole marketplace essentially is there to compete with Shein and Temu, Wish, all of these kind of retailers that offer unbranded bottom basement prices with shipping directly from the manufacturers. Temu bought, as far as I can tell, all of the Super Bowl ads this year. Temu has really pushed into the US. And if you want to get some extremely underpriced, very cheap stuff, you can get it from Temu, also AliExpress. And the kind of the trade-off there is, one, the products will be unbranded. They're usually knockoffs quite often. And two, the shipping is not what Amazon consumers have come to expect. So Amazon consumers have come to expect overnight, 2-day shipping, very fast turnaround times. And Amazon did that by investing in like really massive distribution hubs that allow them to do the last mile in a matter of hours sometimes. That comes at a premium price. Oh! Eric thinks I should do merch. Eric got a blue chip berry bliss. I would send you to the donut shop. You can see that your order is up in the donut shop window, but unfortunately, the kittens are once again not doing their job at the donut shop. I feel like that donut did a bad job of generating something that looked like a blue chip berry bliss would look like. It looked like a chocolate donut. Oh, for my birthday, Aaron got me donut earrings. They're much cuter than you can really see at this distance, but they're very cute. So now I have more donut. No stickers, planner dust jackets. That is very interesting. Okay, Tugboat says, how sweatshoppy is this? As sweatshoppy as Temu or Shein. Pretty much, there's no way to know. That's one of the issues with these kind of ordering directly from China. The transparency for consumers is real rough. The transparency for companies like American and European companies that do manufacturing in China is also really bad. So if you think about it, if Forever 21, the massive company that they are with all the negotiating power that they have, if H&M, if, you know, these fast fashion retailers struggle to ensure that there is no forced labor in their supply chain, you as an individual consumer ordering a set of stickers for 33 cents off of Temu or now Amazon discount, whatever they're going to call it, you're not going to be able to be sure. That doesn't mean that there aren't manufacturers that are not operating in an ethical way. There's just very little way to tell. You know, and this is one of the other things. I'm very curious, and this is pure my speculation hat on. Amazon right now, Amazon has been having a big problem with fakes on their platform, and they, you know, this is one of the people I know that run businesses where they sell stuff on Amazon say, especially like patented stuff, say this is like one of their number one business problems at this point. The access to listing stuff on Amazon means, and the way that distribution works, that mean that a lot of players that make counterfeit products in places where there is the patent protection doesn't extend, China being one of the big ones, they have no way of really taking recourse against that. Amazon, you know, is an American company that is held to the standards of protecting the brands and you know, making sure they uphold copyright and patent laws in the US. And because of that, they have tried to implement these Amazon verified and all sorts of things around making sure that you're getting the authentic product. But like, this is pervasive enough that some brands have just like left Amazon. So that essentially they say, like, if you're buying this on Amazon, it isn't our product. And like, I won't buy any skincare or sunscreen from Amazon because the chance, and like makeup is another big one, the chances that it is fake is extremely high. And they've tried to do a lot of implementing like various protections because they want to make sure they have those premium brands on their website. That's important to Amazon's business model. I wonder, I have some speculation that one of the things that they can do with this discount platform, it's going to be all unbranded products and they're going to be shipped directly from China. They're not, so the end consumer is the one that's kind of going to be on the hook if like counterfeit goods get stopped at customs or whatever. I wonder if that might be part of Amazon's motivation, is like give a platform for these vendors that are already kind of doing this to sell directly to the consumer, and it reduces some of their liability for what they're dealing with authenticity problems. I know, no service personnel. Well, you got your donut, but, you know, it's definitely not made by kittens. Oh my God, Vegas hit 120 degrees Fahrenheit this week. See, this is when you really recognize that Vegas is not meant for humans to live in, especially this time of year. Palm Springs also, yeah. I mean, I heard this morning that 50% of the population west of the Rockies is under an extreme heat advisory. Like, it's like quite bad. Amazon also copies, pirates some products and brands when the algorithm detects wildly good sales performance. Yeah, I mean, I think that they do that in a slightly more, their lawyers are better at finding ways to kind of get around that. But yeah. Yes, a friend's book was faked on Amazon. It was the same cover, but it was nonsense inside. This happens a ton. So one of the things that we have to deal with is that the 3rd edition of my book is coming out. Like, it's at the printer now. It will arrive probably like late August. It's getting printed in China because that's competitive, price-wise. That is arriving probably like in August sometime. Don't really know yet. Don't have a tracking number yet. And like the tracking number, it's coming on a literal boat from China, like the slow boat from China. So we'll see. It took like 6 weeks last time I got them printed. Anyway, that's coming out. And one of the things that I need to do is like get it in all of the platforms. I do have a distributor, and they mainly do my retail distribution. So they're by Olympia. They're great. They're a little even though they're called by Olympia, they're a little Portland company that does a lot. They do some publishing of stuff themselves, but they also do a lot of distribution to like gift shops and small bookstores. And they kind of get me into retail shops, but the last 2 print runs of this book, I did Kickstarters. I'm not doing Kickstarters this time because Kickstarters are a lot of effort and energy. And I did them partially to get the funds to publish the books, but also as a marketing mechanism, because you kind of like blow your wad of marketing on the Kickstarter, but then you pre-sell hundreds of books. I need to figure out how to pre-sell a book that is only slightly modified from the last 2. I mean, there has been demand. I have been physically out of print books for like a year and a half now, which is wild. I really need them to start teaching. I like to get print books to all of the young adults that I teach. And I've been doing that through like on my website, a pay it forward program where like people would buy a book and then one would get donated. And then any that I needed to fill in, I would fill in from the support from the Personal Finance Society members, which is the Patreon. And anyway, I am getting 1,500 books, which is not that many, but it is enough that I need to have a plan for how I'm going to move those books. I'm like putting the money up for it. I have the money, so I'm just putting the money up for them. But they're going to be like physically stored in my house at my distributor's warehouse until I can get them moved out. And one of the things I have to figure out, like Amazon is a pain in my butt, but you have to have your book on Amazon, otherwise it doesn't exist. So the ebook is still on Amazon and I'm set up as a publisher on Amazon. But anyway, I've really got to figure that out. And I know that since the last time I published, you started to see a lot more of these AI generated books. Like you even saw it with like celebrity memoirs will come out and then like on the same day of publish, there'll be like 25 AI generated like things that have titles where they'll try to trick you into believing it's the celebrity memoirs one. So anyway, I've got to figure it out. I do feel like Tugboat has probably a lot of insight since you publish books. But I have to figure out the marketing. So that's part of what I need to do. I think we should dive into the planner stuff. But if anybody has any other questions or wants to chat more about it, thank you for the super chat, Eric. We also have a flu for the week, which is Meteor Rex's kittens. But I think we should dive into the planning. So I'm going to kind of walk through all the stuff I have to figure out here. So this is this week in my Paper Test Designs weekly notebook. She just came out with a bunch of different planners for half year. I need more planners, not at all. So I am not getting in them, but I've seen a lot of people buying them. This is, we've talked before. I just did like a Techo Kagi like not that long ago, and I have really struggled with the having two planners. So of course I added another planner. No, but look how cute this guy is. So this is just a journal. I'm just using as journal. It's the Kinbor A6 and it is undated. It's kind of like Hobonichi like. I will say it's not the best with fountain pens. Like, so the fountain pens work well in it and they don't smear, but there is ghosting on the other side. And there's even some bleed through. And that was using I don't remember what pen I was using, but maybe my Jimbun Techo, maybe. No, it was my Safari Lamy, my Lamy Safari that I was using. And then the ink, I think, was from Oblation. Anyway, it's got this little like undated monthly thing and I haven't figured out, but I think I actually want to do like a photo a day where I'm going to have to actually print them on the printer and then paste them in. And I'm going to have to make a template for it, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm using this as my no pressure whenever you want place to dump stuff because it wasn't really working in the planner. Okay. So this is all of the stuff that I have going on. I started pre-logging it in my weeks, which is kind of my more functional planner. So I have work, Wednesday through Sunday. I have breakfast on the bridges like every 2 weeks because we're doing these pop-ups. I'm leading a ride on to all these stationery stores on Saturday, August 3rd for Stationery Store Day. This is the second year I've done it. It's really good. It's very fun. It's pretty low key and I'm doing it like after I get off work. And I'm skating in a little tiny show on the last Sunday of the month. So I'm following a private investigator for work on this day. That's why it's this private investigator day. Meanwhile, I have to do yoga every day because of this 100 days yoga challenge. I don't have to. I am choosing to do yoga every single day because of the 100-day yoga challenge at my yoga studio, which doesn't end until the 9th of September. And I'm now 39 days into the challenge. Plus I've done 2 extra classes because I'm going to be out at a cruise this week and I need to pre-make up. You're allowed to double up, but you can only double up if one class is heated and one class is not heated. Well, you can do 2 unheated classes, but you can't do 2 heated classes, which does make the schedule a little challenging. It has been a bit... I feel like what is happening is that yoga is taking the place of a lot of Pedalpalooza rides for me, which I don't know. That's definitely not how I want every summer to go, but I am very satisfied with like doing yoga every day has been good. And I will probably appreciate what 100 days of yoga will do for me. I'm not always doing like hard yoga. Sometimes I'm just doing like a deep stretch class or a yin class. So anyway, that's happening. Now, then in September, that's when all my books should arrive around here at the end of August. And I need to do enough marketing, like in pre-orders, that I can sell some books so that I don't have 1,500 books just sitting in my house forever. So I have to figure out what I can do that is sustainable in here while working a full-time job and doing the 100 days of yoga and also skating in a show and everything. And then September is the month that's like truly wild. So I'm teaching. September is when a lot of the workshops start back up that I teach with low income youth. So I probably have 3 workshops in the first 2 weeks of September, and then I go on this trip through all of Oregon by public transit for work. So I'm going to be completely way out of town and even like out of reception for a good chunk of this and doing like tons of work and being on a ton of buses. And I'm not back at best till this Friday, the 27th. And the other kicker of this is that we think I want to bring a drone on this trip. So I need to get my drone pilot's commercial license because that's the only way we can use the footage on for my work. And I can be on works insurance and everything, which means that in the next 2 months, I need to study for that exam and get it in enough time that I have it by the 12th. What is the name of the cat calendar sticker? The Himakuri. I missed out for last year. I got it from Atlas Stationery, I believe, and it is a Himakuri, and I totally recommend it. It's great. It's really brought a lot of joy to me. As you can tell, I'm not totally on the ball with using it, but Tugboat says skating show at Lloyd. Is it the Little Mermaid again? No, luckily it's like way more chill than the Little Mermaid show was. It is a friend of mine is hosting a 80s like night, and another friend of mine and I are doing a duet to 9 to 5. And so we just like started choreographing it like last week. But yes. Drone, yeah. I think that we really would be aided by me having it, but I am trying to figure out how I'm going to get it in. Do I do other workouts on top of yoga, or is yoga the workout for the day? Well, I also bike to work, which is about 15 miles. I also skate, and I've been skating like not that many hours a week, like 3 to 6 hours a week. So, and 6 really being at the high end right now because I'm just not doing a ton of skating, and that has been a little bit of the bummer. So I'm definitely getting like a lot of working out, but I'm doing less strength training right now. But yoga is very, very good for my shoulders, which is like the area that I struggle to strength train the most with weights. I have pretty bad shoulders from skating and from my arthritis and from 2 broken wrists. And I will say that the strength training as far as that, there's also a class at my yoga studio that uses like on the lighter end weights. It's kind of like more like an aerobics-y kind of jazzercise yoga class. And I do that occasionally, but that's been the only thing. I don't have like a gym membership where I have access to Olympic weightlifting right now, but I heard that one of the community centers is free to residents of my neighborhood, so I'm going to try to get it on that. I was very excited when I saw John Day on 9/25. You're going to spend the day with old dad. No, I'm going to be stranded in John Day, Oregon, which this city really put a whole the route between John Day and Prairie City was canceled, and I had to reroute my whole trip. Does drone pilot Aaron not fit in your suitcase? Yeah, we are not going to pay for Aaron to come on this trip because this is a work trip. Yeah, and Aaron does have a job, and I don't think he can just skeeve off for it says I would totally go on the trip as a drone pilot if 1, I didn't have a job, and 2, they had a budget to bring me along. Also, someone has to watch the cats. So I didn't realize we were starting early. Yeah, we start at 4:30 now, which I know is confusing. I'm sorry. It's because I have union. I'm on the union negotiating committee for my work. And which is another thing on this list, by the way, because we don't have work release right now. So when I do bargaining days, I have to work more hours that week. So if I'm like in a 6-hour bargaining meeting, I have to find 6 other hours during the week to work. And like that, it really burnt me out a couple of weeks ago where I ended up working like a 14-hour day because anyway. So hopefully we can convince them to pay for my time. I do think it's very unfair that the bargaining committee members are not getting paid time for being on the committee, but all of the HR department was in the bargaining session, and I presume they were not using their PTO to be there. So, am I Dolly in 9 to 5? We're not really playing characters in it. We're just playing like 1980s secretaries. No problem. My bad for not looking at the time. I mean, this is what it is now. I don't love it. But it's lovely to have you all here. And if you have to watch it later, that's fine. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out like how I can use these planners to make my life less stressful. And I was thinking that maybe we need like a Gantt chart. I do feel I kind of had my own little personal freak out here. And I started writing all of these things in, but I actually feel like I need to color code them because it's kind of hard to pick them all out. Definitely wasn't my like best work. So I think bargaining is going to be, the bargaining days can change. So I'm going to do it in the Fruxon highlighters. So they'll be purple. And we don't have the times yet for the bargaining days. So I just know it's like sometime. Yeah, and then one of this, like, Tuesdays are my weekend. So it does mean that it's, like, I don't have to make up work for doing it, but then the other thing is that I lose a weekend day, which is dumb. So, well, I'm obviously not I'm hoping we get work release soon. So I have to figure out, like, how I'm going to do all this studying in the cruise. And then I still have 4 more double days where I need to take double yoga classes. Okay, what color is Breakfast on the Bridges? I think it's going to be blue. Breakfast on the Bridges won't move, so... and I would say the stationery store day ride is, like, pretty similar to Breakfast on the Bridges. It's bike fun, so we can color it the same colors. Is bargaining on behalf of everyone in the union or representing individual members? We are the negotiating committee for our whole bargaining unit, all 80 members. That sounds fun, but exhausting. I know. It's all... I don't think it's going to be... Like, the trip itself is, like... It's not going to be that fun while we're on it, but I'm really excited for the content we're going to make. Okay. Also, I'm doing field reporting. So, I already had talked myself out of doing synchro. And then last week I started to have like a little existential crisis where I was like, I should do synchro because I've talked about this before. So synchronized skating, there's an adult masters team. The reason I didn't do it, 1, it's expensive. 2, it requires me to get up at like 3:30 in the morning on Thursdays to bike up a giant dark hill to go to skating practice. And then the biggest one for me was that The competitions are an extra expense, and they're all on the weekends. And because they're on the weekends, I have to fly. I'd have to use PTO and get coverage at work. And I was just like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I don't want to use all of my PTO to go to skating competitions. However, the adult synchro team has spots that are either just training spots, so you like come for the training, but you don't actually go to any of the competitions, or their ideal is a shared spot where you share with another person on the team and you go to one of the competitions, but not both of the main competitions. And then if they qualify, they'd be nationals. So there's 3 competitions. So you'd only go to like one of the 3 competitions. And I have to say, I started to get more interested in that as an idea, but I think once again, it's probably a bad idea because I'm just talking about how stressed I am about my schedule, and then I want to add a whole extra thing. But I have been feeling a little aimless in my skating lately. And so my thought was, so I think all the work things, well, I'm worried this is gonna like smear. Oh, it didn't smear. Okay. So all the work things are going to be in gold. This is barely pretty and mostly just functional planning. Okay. Oh, there's another bargaining committee one. What color did I decide the bargaining committee was? Oh, it's the Frixon because they can change. And this is erasable. So I don't know. I was thinking like, oh, it's a fun way to get camaraderie and then kind of add to all of the stuff that I need to do. Just, I don't know. It would just make my skating have kind of a purpose and like goals to work towards. And I was thinking, oh, that's a great idea. And a lot of people had a lot of my friends had a lot of fun that did it last year. But I just don't think I genuinely, okay, so we're gonna color this some other, okay, all dark purple is the Reed College workshops. This is the new, all of my workshops essentially for Oh My Dollar are going to be in this color. I'm not going to color that one yet though, just because that's in a Frixon, because that's an unset one. That's with one of the shelters. Okay. So now we have to figure out somehow how I'm going to fit this stuff in. Aaron studied 30 hours for the drone test. So, and I feel like that's probably reasonable. And then my aim is I can take it after we get back from the cruise, because then I could study on the cruise. And I want to study obviously leading up to that, but like I'm going to have time at sea. Oh, there's also a skating rink on the cruise. So I've suddenly gotten a lot more excited about the cruise that I wasn't that excited about. Okay, so I can aim to take it on this Tuesday, maybe. Drone test. So that gives me essentially 6 weeks to study, and that seems doable. So I think what I'm going to need to do is start setting aside time on Mondays and maybe Saturday afternoons. I haven't been doing a lot on Saturdays after work. So I get off at like work, I go to the yoga, and that's like pretty much all I've been doing. We're trying to move our grocery shopping to Sunday now. I've been very stressed out on Tuesdays. It like hasn't been working very well. So I think I could do my studying on Monday nights, and then I could do. So if I aim for like an hour of studying, how many weeks do I have? If I need 30 hours, how many? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have to do 5 hours a week of studying. 30 hours sounds correct. Do you have a drone license, Eric? Where is she going? I'm going almost everywhere in Oregon. I'm going everywhere that OPB has a station. Hold on. I can show you guys a it is a little changed from this, but here is the map that I made of this is all the places I'm going and roughly how I'm getting there. So yeah, it's going to take a long time, and I'm doing this all by bus. So like, you know, we have to spend like quite a few days in like Enterprise and John Day. And then the bus that I mentioned they eliminated, which is why this needs to change, is the John Day to Baker City one. But what is a rail hand car? I don't know what a rail hand car is at all. For some reason, I confused John Day with Joseph. I mean, it is. I'm going to both John Day and Joseph, but they in some way they're culturally very similar, I would say. Yeah. Cruise studying? No, just chill out. There's going to be so much downtime. Like, my plan is to just, like, work out, go to the ice rink, maybe do, like, some travel journaling. There's, like, 2 days for shore excursions, and I was, like, looking at the one that goes to Mayan, like, runes. And I've been to Mayan runes before, but I haven't been to these Mayan runes before. But that is like a 9-hour all-day excursion, and I feel like in August in Mexico, it's going to be very hot. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to spend 9 hours in a directed tour walking around. So I didn't know we needed to take a test for flying drones. You do if it's you're going to use the footage for commercial. There's like a recreational pilot's test like thing that you have to do, but then there's like another one that's a step up for that. No drone license, but it sounds correct based on how Aaron described his experience. The Mayan rune tour is 9 hours. I looked it up and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. And it's not a booze cruise, so that allows for more downtime. Yeah, I mean, no cruises are a booze cruise with me. It's because I don't drink, so. Although I do think a significant portion of my day is going to be devoted to finding vegan food on the ship, so. Okay. One of the cars you pump up and down to move on the tracks. Oh, you mean like one of these style? No. Worked late. What did I miss? Not much. You're listening to me describe all of the things I need to do. Okay. Let's see if we can somehow turn something into a Gantt chart so I can figure this out. I essentially need to do 5 hours a week of studying if I'm going to do 30 hours of studying in the next 6 weeks. So I feel like I can do little portions in here. So this is my common planner, and it has these little things in the front, which I'm always excited about every time a planner has them in them, and then I never end up using them, these little like vertical chart things. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into a Gantt chart. How do we feel about this? I think we can do this. I need to eat a donut soon, though. Okay. Well, we'll come back to writing July. I feel like that's too much commitment to write. Is this the best pen? I feel like this is too thick tip. Let's use the 0.5 needle tip one, and this one won't smear. Okay. So I shouldn't do synchro, right? Y'all. Even if I don't have to give up all my PTO for it, it sounds really fun. But the other thing too is it's like quite expensive. It's a little less if you're not like going to all the competitions. But it is, I could spend that money on skating, on like in private lessons, and like actually make progress on certain individual goals. And if I, one of the reasons the synchro is appealing to me is it's a commitment to like improving on something. And because I don't often pay for lessons right now, I don't really have any accountability to any of my skating goals. But I could try to pass my dance tests, and I just really need to pay for lessons so that I can do that. And so someone can take it with me and go to the big rink. That was the other thing, is like, then I'll go to the big rink once a week if I'm in the synchro. It's one morning session and an off ice each week, and I don't have to do the off ice with everyone, but I would, as long as it worked in my schedule, and that schedule would be like determined later. So bus trip is soon, cruise is later. No, the bus trip is not that soon. It's just so big that it feels soon, but it's in September. So it's in mid-September. So I have like a fair amount of time, but it is a ton. Like, we are producing 6 videos while we're on the road. We are producing 6 videos. I'm doing like 8 audio postcards. I'm remotely hosting from our bureau in Bend. Like, I've really just got a lot going on. Okay. Work features. Then yoga challenge. And what other things did I mention I have going on? Oh, we also have to move at some point, but we won't know when that is. We're at the point where the house could be finished at any point between, like, I feel like the end of this month is unlikely, but it is within the realm of possibility. But more likely could be like the end of September at this rate, which means that we're just in no man's land as far as like when we are going to move into the house, which is like, the move is not quite as stressful because, one, we are moving our actual like stuff that we use every day 20 feet. So we don't even have to like organize people to come help us move. We can just like have a weekend day where we move it over. But the storage space stuff does eventually need to come out. Okay, so bike stuff. I think I'm going to put like a little open round dot when there's actually something that like is happening. So this would be the breakfast on the bridges. And then there's another breakfast on the bridges on the last Friday. Okay. And then the yoga challenge is just going on the whole month of July. And skating, there is a skating show on this day. And then I have a work feature due on what day? I have a work feature due on the 14th. I'm going to do a closed circle for the day the feature is due, and then I'm going to do an open circle for when I'm doing like field reporting on it. And I am doing field reporting on Thursday. And then I'm doing more field reporting on Wednesday the 31st. And then I have a feature due on the 28th. And then I have another feature due on the 25th. Okay. Then I have a feature due. Okay. So I guess I'll keep these in the same order. I shouldn't do synchro, right? Oh, it was backwards. Don't listen to me. I learned at one point most of the grass seed is grown and harvested in the state of Oregon. Yeah, most of it is grown in Lynn County, which I will be going through, but I will not be there very, very much, though. I've been to Bend on a Ticket to Ride board. That's funny because Bend does not have a train. There are no trains that go through Bend. So that's extra funny. The train just goes to Tumult and then Eugene and then down to Klamath Falls. Ziply can suck it. Got it fixed. Router forgot where it lived with apparently. Oh, that's very annoying. That's my problem. I don't know much, just know enough to get myself in trouble. Guys, is this Gantt chart working? I'm not sure this Gantt chart is working. It's making it look like I don't have a lot of stuff to do, but I do have a lot of stuff to do. If I use my erasable pen and I put in all of the practices, I would be skating practice on Thursday. Wait, that's a Tuesday. I'm good at this. Thursday and Thursday and Thursday. But I'll be out of town for this one. When are the skating competitions too? I don't know if I put that in this calendar. I like how this was like, watch me organize my life, but it's really just me having like a slow meltdown as I try to figure out how to do all the things. The train station in Bend is still down there in downtown, yeah. It's only one space from Eugene to Bend or Portland. Interesting. You do more than a week than a month, so I'm the wrong person to ask, but I agree no to synchro. If it makes sense to you, it's yes, it's working. I mean, it makes sense to me, but I don't know if it's actually helpful. I thought it would be helpful for like seeing how things are laid out, but I actually feel like the monthly calendar is like more helpful. And then I'm teaching another workshop when I get back. And then Budgetober is in October. So I am going to have to like mail the Budgetober stickers out in November, but then I've got to like give the badges each week. I guess the real question is, what am I going to do for book marketing? And maybe one of the answers is that I don't do very much book marketing in September because I'm going to be so swamped with this. And then when I'm back in October, and it's Budgetober, I use that as my book marketing kind of thing. The main reason why I wanted to do some of the marketing in September is people start thinking about finances at 2 times of the year. Well, 3 times really. But I see the biggest boost in like visitors and new people in back to school season. So like late August, early September. I see them in December when like people are starting to think, December through early January, when people are starting to think about like New Year's resolutions. And then we see it a little bit during tax time, but like a little less than we used to. And so I wanted to do that, but I haven't come up with what my marketing plan is yet. So I probably need to do more short form video, because I've done very little short form video in the budget world, and I've been doing a lot of short form video for my work now. So I'm actually like fairly decent about that. I'm not allowed to like publish podcasts, but I still have access to my old podcast feed. So I figured I could maybe do like a little, just like drop into the podcast feed, since, you know, tens of thousands of people will get that in their feed. And so I can tell people that it's out. I can email my list, which is like 8,000 people, and I almost never use it and I pay for it. So I can like email them. But I think what I'll probably do, I will send a Budgetober is starting email. I'll schedule one that like goes out this last week. Yeah, that's what I need to do. So like Budgetober preview. And then I think what I can do is I can use Budgetober as my excuse for making budget content. And then I can always essentially tell people that the book is there. And that can be kind of a form of marketing. And then I probably need to guest on some podcasts or something like that. Embargo September for book marketing, definitely slough that one off. Yeah, I also like, I won't be shipping books the whole time I'm gone. So like my store is going to be closed. So I don't want to do like a ton of book marketing when I don't have a store. I really wanted to make sure I had books for these workshops. Like that's when I start doing like all my workshops for foster youth again. And then I do a bunch of them like into the fall. Most of my stuff is sold like between Black Friday and then like the 3rd week of January. So like I sell like vast majority of my books for the year. So I just need to make sure I have it there. What other marketing stuff can I do for books that isn't going to make me have a breakdown? My mom approves my plan. Oh, I know all about the Bend station because we have a problem with general transit feed specification. Using that as a stop when it isn't the stop that's used by transit agencies. So I've been on many threads about that station in Bend and the Klamath Falls one. Oh, Tugboat put a really good note in there, which is I get a lot of promo emails through Kickstarters I previously backed. I love that idea. Thank you. I hadn't even thought about using that. I mean, most of those people are like on my list, but I think I'll also send it in Kickstarter to not be annoying. How about blue budget on Prime Day? Buy a finance book. Well, Prime Day is next week, and I until the books are on their way, I don't really want to send the pre-order thing out because I don't want to be in the situation of like having people pre-order and then waiting like forever before we ship them out. Because I don't need the cash from the pre-orders. It's just about like, you know, making sure that some books get out the door. I also can use October to release some of my like fun Budgetober like Halloween financy things that I've done as additional merch, and maybe I will only sell them in October. So I'll do, because previously like the only way to get the Halloween themed stickers, which are super cute, has been to participate in Budgetober. So like, you know, we have the Snackuary stickers, and the only way to get them, they're totally free if you participate in the challenges. But I can probably do some that actually, and then like, here's some Budgetober ones. Some of the Budgetober cats. So what I can probably do is this is a misprint if you can't tell. I can probably sell some merch, some like Halloween themed merch that is only available if you buy the book and if you buy the book in October. I feel like that's a good way to do that. Yeah, there's Tugboat. There's always been a way to sponsor a book to give away to low-income students. So that's like the way that we've been doing it that's how I've been like essentially making it possible. Although I have had a lot of people that are very generous with Patreon. But yeah, we kind of made it so that you can buy it and it's like much cheaper than buying a book because I don't have to pay to ship them to the students. I deliver them in person and stuff like that. But yeah. I would have learned about that from you, but Transpertini was canceled after one episode. Yeah, I know. We even recorded extra ones. Pre-market in September with scheduled emails. Yeah, the only thing is like I don't want to be in the situation where I'm supposed to be shipping them out, and I just don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that. Okay, thank you all for helping me puzzle through book marketing. We need to eat a donut because I have to go to a meeting in 15 minutes. So this is Talking Dough and Eating Donuts, where we talk about economics and eat a donut. Okay, so this donut is a Arnold Palmer buttermilk bar, and it is a dense boy. I don't know if you can hear that, but it is like a solid donut. This may end up being my dinner. It's so dense. And it has a lemon buttermilk inside, and then it's a black tea glaze. Okay, this is fantastic. It's really dense, but the outer glaze layer is like deliciously crunchy. Yeah, it is about the size of my head. It's just so dense too. Even if it's not that big of a boy, it's real dense. This is so heavy. I need to work on my cheap knockoff live stream, talking money and eating muffins. Well, you can ship it directly from China in the Amazon store now. There's real lemon inside of it. You can see little bits of like lemon zest. This is an incredible donut. Meteor Rex asks how strong is the tea flavor. I would say it's fairly subtle. I'm getting more lemon, but and like I would say the top is like more crunch. So I wouldn't say the tea flavor is very strong. Talking money and eating muffins is the Amazon brand of the YouTube stream. No, if it was the Amazon knockoff brand, it would be a random string of numbers and letters. Will the black tea glaze give you a caffeine boost? I have no idea, but I drank some cold brew at 4:30, so. Which is dumb because I have a 6 a.m. yoga class because of the 100-day challenge, and that was the only time that was going to work tomorrow. Look at this. This is so big. I wonder if keyboards will be on sale during Prime. I'm thinking yes. So, I found out you can search their Prime Day deals ahead of time. So, if you go on Amazon, you should be able to search. I don't know if it's everything that's Prime deal, but there was a ton of stuff on there. This is such a chunky boy. What's your rating, Aaron? Oh, I mean, I'm happy to finish it, but I'll give you some.
Pretty good.
Aaron says pretty good. What's your rating?
4.
I'm having trouble saying what it could improve on, so I almost feel like it's a 5.
Mm-hmm. It could be more crunchy.
Well, I didn't give you very much top. But if you eat the top, it's crunchy. It's a 5 out of 5 for me. Talking donuts and eating money 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. That is the Amazon name for this live stream. Oh, yeah. David knows a lot about keyboards, so you should just ask David. Okay. We've got to fill in the little donut log here. I'm finishing this guy. I'm going to say 5. Yeah, it is up there with butter mochi. I agree. Okay. So I already filled in most of it. By the way, next week's donut is our final donut in this donut log. Which means we've had 33 donuts on this live stream since I got this in December. There we go. There's a little donut log. I think I found out why I'm so affected by caffeine. Some people are slow metabolizers, apparently. Yeah. I used to be super affected by caffeine, and then I built up a tolerance, too. I asked in the New York Mechanical Keyboard Meetup room recently what you tell people who are worried you're blowing your entire discretionary budget on keyboard. They told me it was better than a cocaine habit. I mean, it is healthier than a cocaine habit, for sure. And cheaper. I mean, you'd have to buy a lot of keyboards, I feel like, compared to a cocaine habit. But I want you to feel confident spending money on things that bring you joy. I just want you to make sure that you have room for the essentials and that you're saving some money and that all of your money is just only invested in is not only invested in keyboards. But as long as you're meeting the essentials, you're saving some money, prepping for retirement, It's okay. Spend some money on keyboards. That's my official advice. I missed the 1-star burger donut. What a journey. Oh my God. That thing was, I hated it. It was a chopped cheese donut. And so it was like, I don't know. I just didn't like anything about it. But I didn't even know what a chopped cheese was, so I had to look it up first. But nope, I didn't like anything about it. And I kind of suspected I wasn't going to like it, and I was correct. I'm glad we had a second donut that day. It means you need a new donut journal. Yeah, it came with 2. So I have a new one. So we don't have to worry about that. I've got 33-ish weeks until we need to get me a new donut journal. All right, should we do flu for the week? If you have any brilliant marketing ideas or merch you really think I should release, I had these. Let's see if I have my old versions of it. Y'all are seeing what a mess. I swear it's organized. Okay, so some of the merch I did, I had cat money print bow ties made up in the past, made by a local business casual of friends, like little local business, and they look very cute and they fit on a cat's collar. And I did these little mini budget planners, and that was the last time I made those was before I even had any audience in the planner community. So I feel like I should probably make those again. And I got them printed locally so I can get them. I don't have to like wait for them to be coming from China and everything. They were little like passport sized budget planners, and they had cats in them and everything. So I'll have to look into that, but yeah. ADHD Queen says, oh my God. Yeah. So I was thinking about making them in a different size though. I kind of need to figure out what size people want them in. I think I did 200 of them last time, and I probably would not print as many because a lot of people got them on Kickstarter. I also did full-sized calendars, like wall calendars that had like a whole year at a glance. However, I don't really want to do those this time because they're a pain to ship unless you fold them. And you can't send them media mail. So they're actually like quite expensive because you can't send calendars media mail. So can you print edible cat stickers, put the prints on donuts, and then give them away at Breakfast on the Bridges? This is not earning me any money. I don't understand your plan here. 1, this sounds complicated. 2, this sounds like it's losing me money. Oh my God. Still gives me the shivers. We do not like that donut. David is giving very important info. Scratch and stiff stickers donut sense, but would probably be pricey. I have to find out if that's a thing. Also, I have no donut merch. I do not have any donut merch, even though I've been doing these live streams for 4 years. I got these very, very cute ones from Alana, who sent them to me. Look how adorable these are. So I have all of these donut stickers, and I was thinking it would be kind of fun to do different donut money kind of mashup stickers, but like still cute. With some cats on them, but scratch and sniff. I'm gonna have to see if I can source those. I don't even know where I would start to find scratch and sniff stickers makers, but it sounds kind of amazing. This is why I'm hopeless at saving money, says New Bold Wine. Yeah, seriously. Scratch and stiff stickers. Now that could drive some people to the website. Would it actually drive people to the website though? I don't know if like we just like the idea of scratch and stiff stickers because like no one needs them in their life. But I do like this idea. I would love to produce some washi tape, and I know there's like quite a few manufacturers that make like small print runs of washi tape, but I gotta do some work to figure out if that's like in the budget, if I can afford it. If I was gonna do it, I think I would want to do pre-orders for it. So anyway. Okay, I have to get going to my union negotiation meeting, and so I have 5 minutes. We have to wrap up in the next 5 minutes. First up, flu for the week. It is time for flu for the week. Wait, where did my flu for the week intro go? Oh, there it is. It's a cat. Okay, time for flu for the week. Here is our floofs of the week, which are Media Rex's baby kittens who have now come to their new homes. Look how cute they are. They're so tiny. They're such tiny babies. And by the way, anybody who's a Personal Finance Society member can have their favorite little cuties on Flu for the Week. But here they are. And what are their names again? Hold on. Nova and Anna. So this one is Anna and this one is Nova. They're very cute little fluff monsters. I think they're ragdolls, if I am correct. If Meteor X is still here, he can tell us. They're just clouds. Just actual clouds. So floofy. They're such tiny babies and yet very floofy. ADHD Queen says, that song. Well, please submit your cats at questions@ohmydollar.com so that we can put them on Flu for the Week. And they don't have to be cats. We've had reptiles. We've had a horse. We've had many dogs. So a gerbil, I think. So anyway, Flu for the Week is very open to interpretation. You could probably send me a picture of a cute plant and I would put it on Flu for the Week. Meteor X says they are ragdolls. Okay, very quickly, you have 2 minutes to tell me what you are most looking forward to this week. I am most looking forward to filing this story that I have been working on for way too long so that I can move on and start working on the other stories I need to work on. And yeah, I've just got a very, very busy summer, as we've discussed. I may go to synchro practice tomorrow. I'm not committing, but if you want to talk me into or out of synchro, you should join the Personal Finance Society or the forums. I mean, go talk me into or out of it on my forum journal because I don't know what to do. I feel like probably inside of me the answer is no, do not do synchro. But there's another part of me. I watched the whole documentary on the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, like all 9 episodes or whatever on Netflix. That was part of what I did with my week off last week, which, by the way, really worked to refresh me. I was feeling very burnt out, and then I had a 5-day weekend, and it was fantastic, and I feel a lot better now. But anyway, I watched the whole Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, like, Netflix special, and I was like, they all have regular jobs and then they do Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and then they also like have all these practices and then they do these games and those are like 14-hour days. And I was like, I could do adult masters synchro team. But it does sound very tiring and they are also all like 20 years old. So ADHD says the weather cooling down. Absolutely. For folks that are not here, once again, it's like 100 degrees or like 38 degrees Celsius in Portland. It is unreasonable temperature. Lots of projects as a cleaning nature. winning the lottery despite not playing it, I think you should be looking forward to something that you have a little bit more likelihood of. Did you say plants? I got a floof then. Okay, good. I want like a good plant though. Don't just send me any plant. Send me one that me, not very much a plant person, will be impressed by. Or one that you have a deep love for, that you can explain why it's floof of the week. You should go synchro. ADHD Queen says they don't get paid much. Yeah, I was thinking about it as a live stream topic because I think it would be really interesting to break down the NFL cheerleaders' salaries. And like, I thought the documentary was actually like pretty, it did a good job of kind of being critical of the system that like burns out and damages the bodies of these young women while paying them like minimum wage essentially, in service of this like massive, very successful business. I think that they did a good job. Looking forward to hearing about Synchro next week. Plants, now I'm in. Okay, we'll send your plants to questions@ohmydollar.com or on the forums. If you are a paid Personal Finance Society member, we have a little forum thread where you can drop pictures in. Looking forward to the new to me futon upstairs. Oh my gosh, it's already 5:46. Y'all, I have to go to my meeting. Stay safe, stay hydrated, pet a cat if you have one available, and I will see you all